So this is a video I've been wanting to do for a while, I guess, because it's a topic not many people know about, but it's really common. And I did a poll on Instagram about what kind of things you guys might want to watch. Everyone basically said mental health. So I guess that's my brand, which I'm totally fine with. I'm a really big mental health advocate. I'm not brave or strong for speaking out about it, so please refrain from texting me that. Because for me, talking about mental health should be as simple as saying, how do you like your tea? How's your mental health? Do you take 2 sugars? Have you had an episode lately? It should be the exact same. So I'm not brave for talking about it. I am completely normal. I've got borderline personality disorder. So that is something not everyone's heard of. And it's quite complex. It's not as rare as people would think. There's literally next to no representation within TV or media. No celebrity that I know of has come out and said, I've got it. Whereas people are more likely to know about depression, anxiety, stress, things like that, because we have those kind of in the films. In Hollywood, we know of actors who struggle with depression, addiction, OCD. So I speak about one that's not that common, and I want other people to know about it and to learn about it. So today, I just wanted to sit down and talk about psychosis and psychotic episodes, which I have personally struggled with in the past. And someone asked me how I led to get diagnosed. Well, when I started to have these episodes more frequently, I realised that I needed to get help. And I went to the doctors and I said, I've been having these episodes. So for me, sometimes it can manifest itself as like an anxiety attack, and it's just simple. If you're in a big crowd of people you don't know, sometimes I'll just go into myself. And there's other times where it feels like somebody's literally taken over my body, and this is where the personality disorder kind of takes place. It feels as if someone else takes over. Like, do you ever have that instance where you blurt something out and it's all of a sudden like, whoa, where did that come from? Imagine that, but it is like, it's not just your voice, it's like your mannerisms. You become someone different. What used to be really difficult for me, especially when I was going through puberty, was I had after school clubs and things. So I'd have like 2 after school clubs, and then I had school. So I had 3-4 different groups of friends, and I was a different person with each of those friends. And then even more was I was a different person in each class than I was altogether. So depending on who I would sit by, I would act like them. I would take on their personalities, a way of integrating, a way of being friends. So if I sat next to the naughty girl, I would then play up, and teachers would be like, you're so good every other lesson, why is it this? And there was no way to explain it, and it's only when I have gone through, when I reached the age of 16, I started reading more books about mental health, started looking into things, that it's like all kind of makes sense. It all slots into place, my thoughts and feelings, how they shifted. And I'm sure that's probably something everyone goes through, but I had this weird sense of, I didn't know who I was. Everyone else was growing up and was, they knew who they were finding out what they liked, if they liked boys, if they liked girls, if they liked perfume, whereas I literally didn't have anything. So that's kind of like the personality side. You very much struggle with your identity and who you are as a person, but I definitely felt that, especially going through puberty. But yeah, so when I was in a relationship and I was spending most of my time with one person, and obviously you have arguments in a relationship, those arguments could either be simple tiffs or there'd be me going off the rails. And there was no in between. I wasn't on any tablets, I wasn't diagnosed at this point. I had absolutely no help. It was literally a switch. It would be just a normal tit for tat, and then suddenly I'd want to kill myself. It's really hard to describe it, so I've chosen some clips from 2 TV shows that you can see visually what it is. So I think for copyright I'll watch them and I'll have like a little screen here. So for me, I think watching something visually is just the best thing. To talk about mental health and stuff, seeing something visually really helps to understand, rather than you can be like, oh yeah, like so and so. So the first clip, actually from my favourite show, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There is a character who struggled with a brain injury in the past. In this clip of this episode, his like dark persona manifests itself, and it's him talking. This clip I'm going to show you is him talking to himself. I think this is really, really good, not only acting, but the way it shows the visualization of that secondary person. So when I have an episode, I see it from above. In this, you see the camera is flicking between the two and you see the two standing there. That is how I see myself when I go through these. That's why I describe it to a doctor. It's like a shadow self kind of comes over, and my normal self has got no control over any of it.
You are a monster. You programmed those robots to attack Yo-Yo, and now you've got Daisy lying at the operating table. If
so see how he's talking
I
to
simply
himself.
programmed it to keep Mac and the others at bay.
You've got this inner battle in your
work
head.
Daisy's
You've got this
inhibitor.
voice saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, stop, stop, stop. You've got this
Well, her powers are the
voice
missing key to manipulate the
in your
gravity.
head. The real you is saying, stop, this isn't right, this isn't right.
What's going on?
Wait, stop. Just
And then
stop,
this
stop, stop.
shadow that's come over you,
You know that I'm right.
is just doing whatever the hell it wants. It's literally just
because
violent, aggressive, anything.
You what? Look at you.
And you've got
You
literally no control
are
over any of it.
weak. But together, we can fix it.
Who are you talking to?
No.
So this has been on my mind, sorry, because I got a text off my ex's friend saying that apparently I stabbed her. I don't know if she meant metaphorically, but I'd held a knife up for a love letter, which I have no recollection of at all. I believe I held up a knife once during an episode, only because my ex told me. She said that's what you did, and I honestly, hands on heart, no recollection. Say that it was over a love letter, I've never ever heard that before. I can't remember arguing over a love letter. I don't know, I'm really confused about that one. But that's what I mean. Things like that, people come to you and say this is what happened, and you have no idea. And then I just want to show you how he comes out of it.
Put the scalpel down. Fizz?
What? It's not me. It's not me, is it? He was right here. He was right.
It's that idea of it really isn't you. It is someone else entirely. It's not you. It's not the real you. It's this shadow. That's the only way I've ever described it. So this shadow. But please know, if you have a lover or significant other, a family member, best friend that struggles with these kind of thoughts and ideas, please know that anything they say during an episode, they don't mean it. It's not real to them. It's like a dream where you have no control over your dreams. It's entirely like that. And anything they say in that moment, please know it's not true. The other thing is, so when I've had arguments and things, the other person or people have been like, you did this, this, this. And they can be quite dramatic and quite violent, and it was because of this, 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 like stupid things. And it's like, I've got absolutely no recollection. Even if you described it in detail to me, I think even if you filmed it, if there was CCTV, I would have literally no recollection of any of it. It is literally like, it's not you, it's this complete other version of you, and for someone to turn around and say, you did this, it's just like, what? Now this is probably what most people have seen, is Coronation Street. I think it was either this year or last year, but Carla had a psychotic episode. Now, the way they portrayed it on screen is the best representation of mental health that I've seen on mainstream TV. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Props to ITV and to the actors and to the writers, but also the direction, the editing, the way it is. Honestly, it was like, wow, you hit the nail on the head. And the moment specifically, the walls are closing in, you've got absolutely no sense of anything.
Oh, it's fine, it's me. It's Gary.
It honestly gives me chills, because that is exactly what it is like. When I have an anxiety attack in public, this is what it's like. And then it's skipping forward. She begins to see things. Now, as far as I'm aware, as I said, these things are really hard to comprehend in hindsight. So as I'm aware, I've not seen things not like this, but some people do, and
I'm so sorry.
it is dangerous. You've literally got no control over it at all. I've had one where I was stopped in the street and someone asked me my age. I was 22 at the time, and I said I was 16 and I had to get to college, when actually I was on a break in uni. And it was like slowly, I was with them for about an hour, and I went from 16, and then I remember saying I was 18 and I was in sixth form. And then it slowly got to me realising where I was, the space became back to normal, I became myself, I was able to answer who I was, where I was. Like it's absolutely crazy.
I'm gonna burn it out. I'm gonna burn it out.
You can't hear anything.
It's only me. Carla. Everything's gonna be okay.
This shadow over you is completely taking over absolutely everything. No matter what someone's saying or doing, it has no bearing. I wish there was more ways to describe it. They're just two clips that I know had a powerful, wow, that's what it's like, on me. And I'll link them down below so you can see the full thing. But I would urge anyone to try and watch those kind of things. I'm trying to think what to say. It's just difficult when it's a topic that not many people talk about. And I guess maybe because it is hard to talk about, there's no words to describe it really. So I'll just end the video by saying what calms me down. And obviously this is not the same for everyone, but for me, this is really helpful. So to put on my favourite music, so for me that's Celine Dion. I think if you can find any kind of opera singer or a vocalist or orchestral where you're not listening necessarily to the lyrics, you're listening to the voice. So Celine Dion in French would be my go-to, where it's just the notes that you're listening to. It kind of, you match your breathing to their breathing. You kind of get lost in that sense of the music. If ever I know I'm about to have an anxiety attack, I'll always put on Celine Dion. That's something I have had to force myself to do. The other thing was literally just stop. Don't respond to what I was saying. Just stop, sit me down, put on the Xbox so my brain was doing something else, or just hold me, or read a book, something like that, where you just stop. And it takes a lot. I appreciate how much it takes a lot for the other person to just stop, especially if those words are hurtful that they're saying. My one thing is, please know it's not true. And if you can find it in yourself to just stop talking, to not react, if you can just hold them, and as I said, put on a game, put on their favourite TV show, favourite film, just talk to them about something else, ask them about a memory in the past. Those were what helped me. To put on Celine Dion or Fortnite or Fallout 4, they always snapped me out of it. Oh, I just hope that I'm doing this justice, and if you do want more mental health videos, please let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to do a how I got diagnosed video, which is a way long-winded story. But yeah, please let me know if this is the kind of content you want. If it's good to have the visual representations as well. But yeah, I think that's it from me. I thought I was going to cry, so we've done really well. I never know what to do. Okay, right.